Hello and welcome back to another video. I feel like I haven't said that in quite a while because I think it's been 10 days, if not longer, since I last recorded anything on the farm. The day job has just been super busy and I just haven't had the chance. I haven't had the chance to do much farming, first of all, and then what I was doing, I most certainly didn't have time to film it. So not a whole lot was happening anyway, thankfully. It just worked out well. I think I just had the one cow bulling, so that was a busy evening, one evening. But other than that, in fairness, things were quiet. It was just a case of going to see them, checking on them, giving them more grass when they needed it and things like that. So fairly quiet. I did a bit of topping then as well another evening, but look, I knew I'd just be busy for a couple of weeks, and so now I can start getting back on top of things again, starting today. So we had the vet out this morning bright and early. So the cow that had the twins, her leg still wasn't better. The anti-inflammatories that I gave her a couple of weeks ago seemed to make absolutely no difference. So we got the vet out, and it seems as though it was an abscess on her hoof that was causing the issue. Now, I'm hoping that is the issue and that isn't an issue and she has another issue, but we'll wait and see anyway. So the vet took care of that, and she got an antibiotic and a painkiller, and I must just inject her now again in 3 days as well with the antibiotic again, 50 mils, and then after that she should be improving. So we'll just keep an eye on her. We said while the vet was here we'd get him to scan her and the heifer, because they're the only two left now that we just haven't spotted bulling. And thankfully he was just able to handle them and he could tell that everything was okay. They are cycling, so he injected them, so they should come in bulling in the next 3 to 5 days. So that's good news. We were a bit concerned that maybe there was something wrong, but I think it's just the fact that she had the twins and stuff. Maybe she just wasn't showing up. And then with the heifer, we were fairly sure that she had been bulling, but we just couldn't spot it. So again, great news that everything is okay there, because she is that cow's calf, and that's the bloodline we want to continue here as much as we can. So great news anyway, we're delighted with that. So hopefully now the AI man will be out in a few days and we'll get the two of them sorted. And fingers crossed that's it for the AI. Of course, we need to watch for 2 more to see if they've repeated. Norma and Snowflake look in the clear. They're gone beyond the 3 weeks now. I think they're about 27 days today. So, I mean, they should be fine. The tail paint was still there and everything. But yeah, it's the there's another one now due in I think 8 days, and then the one we just did last week. And then of course we'll have these two and we'll watch them in 3 weeks time as well, or thereabouts. So yeah, but that's the majority of the AI done anyway. It's always easier, even if you do have a repeat or two, at least you know when to be looking at them. It's very difficult when you don't know when they're going to come in and you're kind of checking them numerous times a day. So glad to have this done now anyway, and it might make things a bit handier around the place. So that was the first job today anyway. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to top the thistles out here. It is a bit stony, but I think I'm just going to cut it high because I just kind of want to get the flowers more than anything. So if I cut it high, I'm hoping that I miss most of the stones. Now I have a feeling that it's a bad idea, but look, I'm going to chance it anyway and see how we go, and sure, it'll be grand. After that then we need to bring up Jimmy, the ladies man. So he'll come up and he'll go in here with the cow and the heifer just so that he shows them up, because he is doing great work for us this year, in fairness to him. So that'll mean bringing up all the cattle, separating him out. I'll top up their tail paint while they're here as well, just to be on the safe side. And then we're going to put them into fresh grass, do a little bit of fencing down there to hold them into one area. And I think that's it for the day. I need to top then where they came out of, but I'll probably do that after work tomorrow maybe, or one of the evenings. Again, it's very stony there, but I'll just do one section where it's nice and clean, just to try and help things along there as well. And I'll probably keep the video going until we spot the two bulling, hopefully, if all goes to plan, but that's what's coming up today anyway. So the topping, that was not a good idea. It was not grand. To be fair, I did skim over most of the stones, but what I was not expecting was boulders. And I mean, I can't lift them out of there. I don't know how I didn't break the thing. It's actually, I was going to say it's nearly as bad as when the block fell out and went under it, but I actually think it's worse because these are stronger stones or rocks, and they are much bigger as well. I checked the blades, they seem to be okay, but the shear bolt didn't break at all. And considering what I hit in there, I really feel it should have broken. So I need to get to the agri part someday and just get a weaker shear bolt, because it's all well and good, you know, not having to change them, and that's all handy, but I don't want to break the gearbox on it. So I'm going to replace that shear bolt in the next day or two, just to make sure I'm not doing any damage. Yeah, I really shouldn't be trusted with machinery. I knew that wasn't a good idea, but I still did it anyway. But I won't be doing it again, that's for sure. But I'll show you what I hit there. And you know, the only good thing to come out of it is it's motivated me now to go and pick those stones out of there. As I said, I'm not going to be able to move the big ones, but I'll get Rob to come down one evening and pull those out of there with me. But I'll pick a few of the stones and then I'll show you what I hit. So here it is, not the fanciest job I've ever done, but got rid of them anyway and got rid of those old flowers. Look how thick that thistle is. But anyway, so here, oh, just saw a stone I missed. So I just picked all these stones. Yeah, I know, ridiculous trying to top with those, but anyway, what's done is done. Look at those. That's fine, I actually didn't go near those, but this is what I hit. You can see. I almost cursed there. That was bad. That was really, really bad. Yeah, they are massive stones, rocks, whatever. And look, there's more here as well. I don't even know where they came out of. My dad didn't know they were here at all. Now I'm just up here with the other lot. I said I'd come up and check on them, and it's time to give them more grass. There is a pick down here, all right, but they just seem so reluctant to come down to it. So I've tried to be as strict as I can with them, in fairness, and they've lasted a good while now in this field, but the grass was kind of growing ahead of them really. But I've decided I'm going to just give them a small little section of the next field over. So when we cut the silage, we were kind of debating, would we take half it for grazing and then the other half for silage, or what? Looks like we're probably going to have to take half it, maybe not quite half, but we'll have to take a bit of it anyway. And look, after that then we'll just have to see how we get on with the bales, and we get however many we get. We probably need 40 odd to 50 bales, which realistically we've another 3 weeks to go before we're intending on cutting. Now we could probably cut in 2 weeks if we had the weather. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, you know, at this time of year, July isn't the year or the month it used to be for weather. It's always hit and miss. So if we do get a break in the weather in 2 weeks or that way, we'd probably just cut it, I'd say. Grass is absolutely flying next door. I'll show you it. But then in the other fields, it's not going as well. I suppose there was a heavier crop in the 2 lower fields, so maybe it's taking more to come back there than this one. But anyway, I have to do this on my own, so it's going to be interesting. I have the reel down here in the corner, and I have the end of it way up at the top there. So I'm just going to unravel it wherever it is raveled, and then I'm hoping I'll just be able to pull it. And I brought a spare insulator, so I just took it off a post. There was a spare one on my way up, so I'll have 2 on the one post, and I'm hoping just to run it around my last post up there and over to the ditch in the other field. Yeah, I do. I was just going to say, geez, do I have enough fence? But I definitely should. But I just don't know if I'm going to be able to free it enough to pull it over. So we'll see how it goes anyway. These are also going to be very eager to go. So I'd rather now if they didn't follow me, but I know they will. But hopefully they'll just put the head down when they get in there, because otherwise I'm going to be chasing cattle for a little while, which I don't really want this evening. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. They actually didn't follow me, which put me under less pressure at least. I did get a hop off the fence. It obviously touched below, but that's all right. I'll get over that. So they're in here now, so I'd say you can see that. Plenty of grass here, so they'll be absolutely delighted. Come on! I don't know, they're very slow to move. Maybe they weren't as eager to leave as I thought they were. Come on, Shirley. I think I'll have to drive them in here. So this is the silage ground now, just down from where I put the cattle into. So as you can see, there is a good heavy crop here. It's very close to being ready. Even in the distance there, you probably can pick it up, but it's slightly going to seed over there, just in a small little patch for whatever reason. But the concern is, because this field is so far ahead of the other fields, is this all going to go to seed before the other one is ready? The one below isn't bad either. It's this one here now is the problem. So as you can see, there's just no comparison. Like, you can even see the colour. This got the same amount of fertiliser as that other field, but it just hasn't taken off at all for whatever reason. There is a lot of weed, I don't know what it is, in here that seems to have taken over in sections of it. The grass just hasn't come back as strong as normal, but like this field, we would generally bank on getting the bales out of this one. 2 years ago when we did a second cut, we just did a second cut in here because we can always just get loads of grass out of it. But I don't know what's after happening. I really don't. I can't understand it. but we're kind of putting it down to the fact that we got such a heavy crop in the first cut from there, compared to the other field. But yeah, it's really disappointing because it just means we kind of have to hold off to see what we can get out of here. But the one that I just showed you is definitely going to be ready, and the one below honestly isn't far off it either. So we might just have to cut our losses and take a little less in this one when the time does come, because realistically I think we have to take the break in the weather when we get it. And yeah, we can't let everything go to seed either. Now I'm back down here again this evening. I've just finished work and I couldn't have timed it any worse. I got absolutely soaked on the way down. But yeah, the weather is just shocking here. That's the problem. It doesn't rain for a while and then it doesn't know when to stop. But I'm going to do a bit of topping while I'm waiting for the AI man, because the heifer has actually come in. So she was bulling last night. Dad spotted the big Angus jumping on her, so that was no joke for her. I'd say that's a good 900 kg now at the moment, I'd say, up on top of her, because she's due in 2 weeks time as well, that cow, so she is heavy. But yeah, she wouldn't let Jimmy have a look in, poor Jimmy. But yeah, look, it's great that she came in so quickly. So because she came in last night, we're going to try and get her AI'd early enough this evening. Usually he'd come around 9:30 or that way, but we're hoping now he'll come a couple of hours earlier. So even if I got an hour or half an hour of topping done before he got here, it'll be something done. So that's the plan, and sure, look, I'll show you what we're up to anyway. Now I'm just ready to get topping, and the cows were a bit difficult. They would not come out of the field for me, so I'd say I'll have a job now trying to get the big red cow in tomorrow to give her injection. But look, I won't give them any extra grass today. They have plenty there, and that usually helps get them out anyway. So I'm just over here now. As I said, it's very stony and things, so I'm just going to do this upper part anyway. I'll probably only stick at it a half an hour or so because the weather has turned absolutely awful. But I seem to be staying dry so far with my Duncan cab, so at least that anyway. But I'll give you a look at what I'm doing. And I'm not putting my camera out in this because I'd be afraid my phone would break because it's that rainy. But yeah, I'll show you what it looks like a bit afterwards. I mightn't finish it today, I might finish it tomorrow. So, but I will show you a before now and then an after. Now I put her down the crush because she's got her sister and her mother's attitude, and neither of them will put their heads out the head gate inside in the pen. And look, Isabella, please. Yeah, attitude. Now that's this girl sorted, so a bit later than I had expected, but she was very well behaved. She thought about going down on the front knees, but she decided against it. She was very good, in fairness, and she stuck the head out through the head gate first time. So obviously she's not happy because she's in here, but she'll go out first thing in the morning. She's got her hay and a bucket of nuts there anyway to try and sweeten the deal with her. Pains me to put her in there into my lovely clean slats. But look, I'll only need to spray it down tomorrow first thing. To clean it off anyway. But yeah, look, I suppose if she's in the pen, it's only a bigger job to be cleaning out the pen. at this time of year as well. So that's it for tonight. I'm just down here again this evening now to do a bit more topping. I was hoping the other cow would be bulling and I'd give her antibiotic as well, but no sign of her. So I'm just going to push it out till tomorrow now. Hopefully she'll be bulling tomorrow, and once she's in the crush I'll give her the injection as well, just to reduce the amount of times I'm having to bring her in and out, keep her some bit happy. But so the heifer was in here last night. Somehow Dad managed to leave her out on his own this morning. I don't know how he did it, because it's very rough outside the door there at the back. And he said to me, "What did you do with the heifer last night?" And I said, "I just put her in the first pen." As you can see, the first pen is absolutely spotless, but the gate is closed. So it looks like she got out the front here, did her business outside here, of course, then went in here, but that's very low for her to get into, unless she went in the bottom one, came up around the back because she's destroyed back there, and then came in here and destroyed that as well. So yeah, she had a right old roam around for herself. So the joys. But anyway, I'm off to do a bit more topping, and that'll be the only thing I'm doing this evening. And I just saw a rat, so obviously our little furry friends have not gone away yet, so I'm just going to check our bait trap there now first, before I go and get Dad to put a bit more into it. That's the problem with having them in overnight as well and stuff. Generally we wouldn't have many of them during the summer, but you know, if you have the cows in with the nuts and they'd be tipping over the buckets and stuff, all of that attracts them. So yeah, damn it. But anyway, that's it. Now you can see there what I did yesterday before I had to give it up. But a lot of people say to me, well, there's two camps really. There's the topper believers, and then there's people who think topping is a waste of time. And a lot of people will tell me the topper is a waste of time. But when it gives me the sense of satisfaction that gives me right there, I think it's worth anything in the world. It's just amazing what it does to the place. It really is. And I do really think it's going to give this place a good chance now of a nice bit of growth, especially up here because they're not overly thick. I'm going to do behind me here too in a very low gear because they are thick. But again, I can see there's a lot of grass in between those rushes, so if I can just get rid of them, because I don't think they've been topped for 3 years, I'd say. Was the last time it was done, and sure, they're back as bad as ever, but it's also briars now in here as well is a problem. I probably went a bit too close to the ditch there. I was a bit cheeky with it, but it tidied it up nicely just with the barbed wire. Everything's kind of taking over. And I did a section over there behind me as well. And I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but I can really see it and it just looks so good. So hopefully now I'll get the most of what I want to top in here done today. You'll see when I'm done, I'll show you, because there'll be a patch in the middle that is just pure rushes, but I don't know if I'd come out of there if I went in there with the 135 first of all, and there are some absolute boulders in there as well, so I'm not going in there. So yeah, I'll tidy this place up a bit. Weather is fairly miserable again this evening, but I might set up the camera for a little bit and see if it catches anything. that's all I'm going to do here now this evening anyway. The vast majority of the place is done. I've left a small patch that I probably could have done just before it gets into the dodgy bit. But I was pushing the tractor to the limit there in a few places, and I just think it's better off to just leave it. That little patch isn't really going to make much of a difference. I've cleared the place that has the best of grass. You can see it there behind me. So directly behind me, probably a waste of time even doing it, but look. But then you can see it gets better as it goes back there towards the pole. So a nice clean job done. So that's it for this evening. It's late enough now. I'd say it'll be a takeaway kind of night now this evening. But yeah, I'll come back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have another bulling cow, and that'll be pretty much it then. I was just giving them some nuts to try and coax them the next time I need to take them out of the field, because they're being an absolute nightmare. But I just wanted to show the two cows here especially. Look at how big the black cow is there. She actually makes the Simmental look like a small cow, and that is not a small cow. She's just amazing. Obviously now she's due in the next less than 2 weeks really, but she is just an absolute beast of a cow. She's nearly as tall as me. I was walking behind them here now, and you can see, like, I have the camera held up, she's nearly the height of me. And when she went down the crush, she could barely get out. Now obviously the fact she's in calf doesn't help that either, but on a normal day she's pretty much the same. Absolute beast. The calves didn't bother coming out. Now I didn't record bringing them in and injecting, and I painted their tails while they were in there as well, because they had me run ragged out here. They refused to go in. So I took this wire here and I narrowed it, kind of forcing them towards the gate. But I'd say I was running around the field for 20 minutes. Or not running, because there's no point in running after them, because once you have them worked up to the point where they're running and bucking, you're kind of wasting your time really. But yeah, I'd say 20 minutes. Dad was saying, would he go get the gator? But I said, give me another minute. But it's done anyway. She was fine. I changed tact this evening. I put all 4 up the crush. She was at the back. Now she did jump on the black one, of course, and then got her leg stuck over the top of the crush, which I'm always very nervous of. But I was able to just lift up the hoof slightly and throw it back in, and she was fine. But I gave her 50 mils anyway. There's a lot in 50 mils, but yeah, I just took my time putting it in because it's a lot of liquid. But she was happy out. She didn't feel the needle go in, or she didn't seem to react to the liquid either, which was great. And yeah, when they were in there, I said I'd top up their tail paint. Disappointing that the cow isn't bulling today, so tomorrow really is the 5th day, so she should be bulling tomorrow, and I hope she is. But we'll have to wait and see. It's a pity now I couldn't do 2 birds with 1 stone there, but it doesn't matter. Hopefully we'll get her tomorrow, and I'm off tomorrow, so that's good. As you can see, we have lots of grass in this field, so I'm trying to keep them as tight as I can, because I know tomorrow will probably be difficult as well, but at least they got their nuts so that they know there's something at the end of it anyway. Thanks anyway for watching. If you liked it, give me a like, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Thank you.